Hello, friends, and welcome back to story time. All right, we are going to sing our song. Then we also have our fun What Is It game to play. We have a story to read today. And if there's time, we've got some Sesame Street videos to watch today about the letter. What letter is it?
N.
N. All right, because that's what we're learning about. Okay, are you guys ready to sing? Find that letter N sound when we're singing. A is for apple, apple. B is for bow. I need to hear you.
Cat.
D is for dog. Good, I hear you a little bit. Let me hear you more.
L is for elephant.
Elephant. F is for fish. G is for
Gorilla.
H is for
Hat.
I is for J is for K is for L is for
Boy.
yeah. M is for N is for no. That's our sound. Make that sound. N. Octopus. P is for Q is for
Question.
R is for S is for T is for
Train.
Well, I like that today.
U is for
Umbrella.
V is for
Van.
W is for
Watch.
X is for Y is for
Yellow.
Z is for so many things for you to learn about, so many ways to sing our song.
So many things
For you to learn about, so many ways.
to sing your song.
Woo, good job singing. All right, now what is our letter this week? N. So today, well, first let's look at our story over here. Can Miss Eshway point the camera to it? And I will read it to us. It says, Nolan is a squirrel. He lives in the woods with his wife, Nadia. So Nolan and Nadia, they have 6 children. Nolan Jr., Nathan, and Nicholas, and Noel, Nicole, and Natalie. They love to have fun together. They are so nice, but sometimes they can be naughty. They love to eat nuts and noodles. Nadia is a nurse. Nolan is a nose doctor. Nolan writes a note to each of his kids every day. They love his notes. Their neighbors are Benny and Beth Bird. They have a huge nest with 9 baby birds. 9 baby birds. In a minute, at the end of our story, I will tell you all of their names, okay? Noel, Nicole, and Natalie love to play with their necklaces. They are nuts about each other. That's a lot of letter N words, isn't it? Do you know that Benny and Beth Bird have 9 baby birds? And their 9 baby birds start with the letter B. Should I tell you their names before we read our story? Brenda, Berkeley, Bethany, Riley, Benjamin, Barrett, Brandon. Who do you think the other 2 are? Blake and Baylor.
What was the last one?
That's 9.
What was that?
Well, this is my thumb. If I put that out, that would be 10, but they only have 9 baby birds that all start with B. Brenda, Bethany, Benjamin, Bennett, Barrett, Baylor, Brandon, Blake, and Brianne. I changed some of the names because I couldn't remember all the ones that I said. But their names all start with B. That's crazy, huh? All right.
The last one.
Today, oh, you want to know what a 10th one would be? If they had a 10th brother or sister, their name would be Boston.
Boston.
It starts with B. All right. We are going to read this book. Now, if my nieces are watching today's video, they're going to love this because you get to learn something new about it. Miss Becky right now. Miss Becky hates squirrels. I'm very scared of them, and I do not like them at all. So my nieces, they tease me about it a lot. And this book is called Those Darn Squirrels. But today, I had to read this to you because our letter is letter N. And these crazy squirrels, what is the thing that they love to eat the most? Emmanuel.
Nuts.
Nuts. And what letter does nut start with? N. And since that's our letter of the week, right, we have letter B because that was last week's letter. We have letter N because that's this week's letter. So we are going to read this book about squirrels and the nuts that they eat.
Yeah.
And we'll have to see if there's any other letter N words in the book that we can find. If you find one, can you do this? Because that's the letter N sound, and that's how we make an N in sign languages, isn't it? We can say no. All right. Who can tell me what this part of my book is? Fanon? The front. Who can tell me what this part of my book is? Ifu? The back. Who can tell me what this part of my book is? Emmanuel?
The spine.
The spine. Who can tell me what the author of the book does?
Right.
Sinai? Writes what? He writes the words. What does the illustrator do? Draws the pictures. Thank you. Let's sing about it. The author writes the words. The author writes the words. Hi, oh library, oh, the author writes the words. The illustrator draws the pictures. The illustrator draws the pictures. Hi, oh library, oh, the illustrator draws the pictures. Let's go. Hands in your lap. Eyes on Miss Becky. Listening ears on. Voices are off. Remember, if you hear a word that starts with N, I want you to do on the outskirts of town at the edge of the forest, there was a little old house. The only thing older than the little house was the man who lived in it. Old Man Fuquire. Did you see a letter N word? I didn't. Old Man Fuquire was so old that when he sneezed, dust came out. Only do it if you see a word that starts with N. He was also a grump. I do not see one yet, so please put your hand down. He hated pie. He hated puppies. The only thing he liked was birds. All summer long, the old man painted pictures of the birds that visited his backyard. There were whirly birds and bonga birds, baba birds and yaba birds. Even a rare fugu bird came once or twice. Fuquire's paintings weren't very good, but the birds never, that's a letter N word, so what should you be doing? Good job. Said anything. When the air turned crisp and the leaves began to change color, the old man grew sad. He knew that soon the birds would fly south for the winter, as they did every year, and that he would be very lonely. Then he had an idea. If he fed the birds, maybe they would stick around. So Old Man Fuquare built beautiful bird feeders, and he put them up all around his backyard. He filled the feeders with delicious seeds and berries and nuts. Nuts. And soon the birds came from all over the forest just to eat in the old man's yard. But the birds weren't the only one who liked the feeders. The squirrels did too. Not many people know, but squirrels are the cleverest of all the woodland creatures. In fact, they're fuzzy little geniuses. They can make a house out of a tree, a bed out of a bunch of leaves, and a box kite out of twigs, dirt, and squirrel spit. Yuck. They are also excellent at math. Winter was fast approaching, and the squirrels needed to gather as much food as they could get ready. So they decided to take some of the bird food. The birds were not good, happy. Neither was Old Man Fuquire when he discovered what had happened. He shook his old man fist and yelled, "Those darn squirrels!" Can you say that? Those darn squirrels! He filled up the feeders again, but this time he hung them from a clothesline, and then he went back inside, confident that the squirrels would no longer be able to get to the seeds and berries and nuts. Nuts. Good job, Fanon. But the squirrels were determined. They devised a plan, and this time they took all the food from the bird feeders. The birds were furious. "Ah!" yelled a bonga bird. "Those darn squirrels!" yelled Old Man Fuquire. "Yum!" said the squirrels. Now, thank you, Fanon. It was Old Man Fuquire's turn to devise a plan. He went to the general store to get supplies. He bought lasers and clamps. He bought wires and springs. He bought all sorts of tools and built a veritable fortress around his bird feeders. Then he refilled them very carefully. Na 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 na. Na 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 na, shouted the birds. The squirrels stayed up all night. Good. Working out their strategy. They drank cherry cola and ate salt and vinegar chips to help them stay awake. Finally, they had it. The perfect plan. They put on their tiny helmets and prepared to launch themselves into the air, over the fence, between the lasers, and onto the bird feeders. The first squirrel misfired and hit a tree. The second squirrel went too high and landed in a bucket. The third squirrel sailed clear over the house. The birds laughed and laughed. They each had one last delicious mouthful of seeds and berries and nuts from the old man's feeders. Then they flew south for the winter, just as they did every year. "Psst," said the Fugle Bear. Bird. After the birds left, Old Man Fuquire was lonely, just as he was every year. He fixed himself some cottage cheese and pepper, his favorite snack. But he was still lonely, and when he looked out the window, the squirrels could tell that he wasn't happy. "Go away," shouted the old man. "I don't like you, squirrels." The squirrels held a meeting deep inside a large tree. They decided to give the old man a present to make up for taking the seeds and berries and nuts. Now, not many people know this, but squirrels are not the only fuzzy little geniuses. They also collect just about everything they find on the ground. These squirrels had a vast stockpile of spectacular junk to choose from. But what would Food Wire like? Bottle caps, popsicle sticks, postage stamps. Finally, they had it. The perfect gift. The squirrels stacked all their loose change at Old Man Food Wire's doorstep. There were dimes and pennies. There were nickels, and quarters. There were even a few tokens from Coco's Arcade. It all added up to $47.36, plus a few rounds of skee ball. Maybe you squirrels aren't so bad, Foodwire said when he found the coins, but I still like the birds better. This gave the squirrels another idea. They raided their junk collection again and got to work. When Old Man Foodwire woke up the next morning, he was amazed to see that the birds had returned. But wait, these things weren't birds. They were squirrels in disguise. Great googly moogly, said Old Man Foodwire. This will make quite a painting. He ran outside and took down the lasers and the wires and the spring-loaded trapeze. He turned all the bird feeders into squirrel feeders. Then he painted till his brush ran out of bristles. The squirrels were so overjoyed they had a party in Old Man Foodwire's house. Those darn squirrels, said Foodwire as he shook his old man fist and smiled. The end. That was a pretty fun book, wasn't it? And you guys did a great job of listening for the letter N words. Should we play What Is It? All right. What is it? What is it? What is it? Do you know? This is something that you need a hammer. You need to use a hammer for it. What is it?
A nail.
A nail. This is something that you might use to catch fish or a bird or a what? A net. Good thinking. Okay, this is something you might not know what it is. It's an animal that lives in the ocean and he has a big horn like this.
A narwhal.
A narwhal. Now I thought it was a narwhal, but they're calling it a narwhal. I'm pretty sure it's a narwhal, but you were right. This is something that sometimes Miss Becky wears them in class. Sometimes our other friends wear them, usually girls. But actually, I think Sinai has one on right now too. What is it? No, it hangs like this. It might have a jewel on it. Sinai, can you pull yours out, your chain? Show us your chain. No, your chain. Pull it out. Maybe Miss Ashway can help him. So you can show everybody and then they will know what it is.
I know.
It's just right there.
I know.
Okay, what is it called, Fina?
Necklace.
A necklace. See, and Mr. Sinai has one. A necklace.
Well, I don't.
All right, this is something that those 9 baby birds live in.
A cocoon.
Not a house. No, they're birds. So what do birds live in? What's the picture that's up over there for the letter N? Can you look and see? Eggs are in it.
Eggs.
So what are the eggs in? What is this?
Nest.
A nest, and that's where birds live. Miss Becky writes these to you every day for morning message, and sometimes your mommy and daddy might write them to you. What is that? A note. Okay, what's this part of her body? I have my mask pulled down for this one just so that you can see it, but what's this part of my body? My nose. You all have a nose. This is a person that helps the doctors. Not a doctor, but a
nurse.
Emmanuel. A nurse. Good job, Emmanuel. These are food that all of you love to eat at lunch. That you have them when you eat mac and cheese. Yes.
Apple.
Not apples. You eat them when you eat mac and cheese or spaghetti.
Pasta.
So you call it pasta. They are called noodles.
But sometimes you call them
Noodles. And what did the squirrels eat?
nuts.
Nuts. Good job. That was a really good what is it game. You guys knew almost all those words without me having to give you a
I
lot.
see peanuts.
Yeah, there are peanuts in the picture. We don't have peanuts in our classroom. Why don't we have peanuts in our classroom? Because you're allergic, right? And because Osman is allergic too. Okay, are you guys ready? We are gonna watch Kermit the Frog tell us about the letter N.
We take you now to Kermit the Frog with another fast-breaking news story.
News!
Hi all, this is Kermit the Frog. This is Kermit the Frog of Sesame Street News, and I'm speaking to you from the world's first schoolroom. Excuse me. And indeed, this is the very first school day in history. Things seem to be a little confused here. I'll see if I can make my way over to the teacher. Excuse me, kids. Pardon me, sir. Oh, sir.
Yes.
Are you indeed the very first school teacher in history?
Well, I guess I am.
Well, I was wondering if you could tell me, when are you going to start the school here now?
Well, actually, I think we're ready to begin right now.
Really? Well, you can fool me. Perhaps I can be of some assistance here. Teacher? Teacher?
Yeah.
You might, this is just an idea and all, but what you might do is you might ask the kids to sit down.
Sit down, you say. Oh, that's a grand idea.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Sit down, everyone. Sit down. Sit down.
Well, that's certainly a lot better. Teacher,
Yeah.
I don't think you should sit down, just the kids. You should stand up.
I should stand up.
You should stand up, man. If you stand up, then you can teach them better, you know?
Oh, you might have a point there. Oh, yes, this feels much better.
Yeah, sure it does. Now, what are you going to be teaching about today?
Oh, well, I'm going to be teaching about the letter N. Could you help me, please?
Sure, what do I do?
Yes, we'll see a
Letter
letter
N.
N on the floor.
You put it up here on my desk. Boy, this letter is heavy as rock.
Oh, what did you say?
Huh, that letter is heavy as rock, I say.
Oh, well, you know why?
Why?
Because it is a rock.
Yeah. Okay, are you going to begin teaching now?
Yes, I think I am. This is the letter N. Yes, there are many words that begin with the letter N. And you know some of the words that begin with the letter N.
Really?
Teacher, don't you think it'd be better? It would be better if you asked them to be quiet.
Oh,
And then they can listen to you
oh,
teach.
yes, that's a marvelous idea.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. Class, quiet, please. Quiet! Please.
I think it better already.
Now, this is the letter N. There are many words that begin with the letter N. Can someone tell me a word that begins with N?
We have to remember this is the first day of school. Teacher, excuse me, just one last suggestion. What you could do is you could ask the kids to answer one at a time. You know, if the kid knows the answer, he raises his hand, you know?
Oh, I like that. I like that. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Class. Would you do me a favor, please? If you know a word that begins with the letter N, please raise your hand and I'll call on you one at a time. Yes. Neat. Neat starts with letter N. Oh, neat. Very good. Yes. Is it hard? Oh, yes, from
Nice. Begins with N.
Oh, yes, very good words indeed. Nice, needle, and neat. All the words that begin with the letter N. Oh, I can't thank you enough for all your help. You've made me so happy. Oh, ow. No. Ow is not an N word.
Well, this is Kermit the Frog picking you from the world's first school on my way to the school nurse.
Nurse is an N word.
Oh, that's funny.
Turning you to your regular schedule program.
I loved it. All right. You guys did such a great job. We are going to quickly say goodbye to our friends, okay? And then I'm going to send you to go line up so we can go potty and wash our hands, okay? So I'm gonna have 3 of you go. I might tell you to go line up now, and then I'm gonna say goodbye to our friends. So, Benani may go line up. Osman go line up. Sinai go line up. Nathaniel go line up. I'm not calling on you because you're not sitting down. Nathaniel go line up. Ivy go line up. Not go line up. Now Amy go line up. So long, farewell to you, my friends. Goodbye for now. Until we meet again, I say goodbye for now. Until we meet again.